Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Drakar shit that is Omni Lucid Media, Omni Lucid Games. Omni Lucid presents a lot of different things involving Omni Lucid. And speaking of involving Omni Lucid, these two gentlemen here with me, you know them as the co-creators of Drakar. You know them as the co-owners of Omni Lucid itself, guys. I have Brian and Ryan with me. How are you today, fellas? You guys
doing
are muted.
Doing good, man.
Hey.
There you go. Hey, you're there. Hey, how? So you're good. You're good. Now, before we roll into this, Ryan, we were kind of talking about this backstage before we started the show. What did you get to experience yesterday? There was something that you got to do yesterday that was probably something new for you. I'm guessing a new experience for you.
Yeah, so we're just gonna jump into that right away. Yeah, so yesterday was my first. I'm pretty sure it's my first. If it wasn't my first, it was definitely my best. Virtual board game convention. That was with the Quackalope people over there. They have their
Love
Discord
that Quackalope people. Shout out to Quackalope.
I will tell you what, too. You know, like I'm wearing the shirt to, definitely promote them today, but I actually love this shirt. It's very nicely made. It's legitimately, even if this wasn't on here, like I would wear this all the time just because it's a nice fit. It's a good shirt.
So what you're saying is not only is Quackalope awesome as a channel, their merch is cool and it's comfortable.
Yep. So far, I mean, this is the only thing I own so far. They have their Thanksgiving shirt that's coming out. So when that comes in, hopefully it's the same. But yeah, man, they got good merch.
Yeah. And Keshik Queen in the chat. Oh, who's that handsome guy there with you, Keshik? He's pretty handsome. Says, hi, guys. How are you? Hopefully you're well. All right. So, yeah, give us a little bit more on that experience. Tell us how like, this, if you can, the structure that went down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tweet out a few things while you're doing that. Give us the lowdown on it.
Yeah, so it was the Epic Demicon, which, as far as I know, that was happening in other places as well. This just happened to be the Quackalope that they were doing it as well, or hosting an event as well. That's the part I don't know. I don't know exactly how that all worked out because I heard about it through Quackalope. Obviously, I'm in the Quackalope Discord, so that's where I went for it. But I think they had other stuff in different areas. But either way, it was a great time. They had it set up. It really felt like a regular con. They had rooms set up for panels, for games, for play testing. They had giveaways that were happening. They had just open chat rooms. The welcome center was open the whole time if you just wanted to hang out and talk with other gamers. If you wanted to pop in and watch other people playing games, you could sign up for game events. It was just all around. It felt very much like a con.
Did you get a chance to check out any of the panels?
I didn't. Unfortunately, it was because I didn't get started until the afternoon yesterday due to real life stuff. But once I got in there, I was hosting Drakar playthroughs. And after I finished with both of the Drakar playthroughs, took a moment to go eat some dinner. And then when I came back, I hopped into a game with some other people. We were playing a game called Funfair, which I hadn't heard of. It was a good time. They were saying that I guess the game is... let's see, do I remember? It was released in Australia, I believe they said. And so far it's been hard to get in America so far. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. We were all just hanging out, talking, having a good time. And even after that, we all kind of hung out a little bit longer and talked some more. So I was hanging with a few of it actually was mostly the duck mods over there. But yeah, it was a good time, and it felt, again, like I was telling these guys backstage, when I woke up this morning, I felt like I had been at a con yesterday. I was just so tired from like just talking and hanging out, and yeah, it was a great time. I'm hoping they do another one soon. Had a lot of fun. We got to, like I said, got to play Drakar, and everybody loved it. There was a lot of other great games that I didn't get to play, where I was like, man, I want to play, but I should probably, show Drakar off, but that looks really cool, and this looks cool. And
man, that's one of the challenging things about doing Drakar right now is that like it eats up all my normal board game time because every time I go to play a board game, I think like, but I already have a board game I need to work on, and it's like so I'm like, okay, as soon as we finish Drakar, we're gonna have a game weekend. But like, yeah. I'm always at that like, do I play the board game or do I try to continue making the board game? You know?
Yeah,
and I can definitely relate. I mean, you guys put way more work into this than I do. Definitely, you guys are constantly thinking about it. I see in our chats, like I can't keep up with it. I said this I don't know how many times. I don't know how you guys do it, but Jesus,
dude, it's cool. Like, because when we get going, man, you know, it's just like boom, 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 and like. It's fun because it goes in spurts, but like when we were first starting to design Drakar, it was like that for like weeks, where it was just like every day. It was like, okay, what about this? What's up, Invasion?
Invasion. I just want to give a big shout out to my boy Invasion. Invasion's he's one of my dudes who comes into my chats on my channel, hangs out. He's just lit, dude. He's such a supporter, man. I appreciate you being here, Invasion, my dude, and hopefully we'll see you tonight. But thank you for coming by. If you're not subscribed to Invasion, please make sure you subscribe to this channel here, because there's going to be big things coming, my dude. And we're going to get into that. And I'm very excited because I learned about it right before we started this show. And and I see Brian over there dancing. So we're going to talk about it. But anyway, so as a person who has seen a lot of these online cons since everything, you know, the pandemic and everything had happened, and personal friends of mine starting online cons, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of like how they should run better than what I've seen typically, as compared to like a con, like a normal con, like a C2E2 or a Wizard World or something like that. It sounds like this is probably one of the best experiences via like internet wise con that has been set up with the way they set with like the Discord and the EE. You could go into the Discord or the different channels in the Discord as if you were walking up to a table.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly how it was. Where it was, you could go through and pick out a game. If and again, there were also other vendors. I honestly, I almost forgot about that. So it wasn't just games. There were also vendors there. I wish I remembered some of them now, so I could maybe give them some shout outs. But I know there was a lady there that her whole booth was that she was selling these D20 pillows. So they looked from the pictures about the size of a basketball, but they had been sewn into, they were D20. So there are these giant D20 pillows that you could roll around. And there were a few people, there are a few artists on there that were just
real quick. Let me note to self, Ryan's Christmas gift. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, let's go on.
There are a few artists on there. And again, they were doing giveaways. I didn't win any of them. There was one, it was a super awesome Ecto 1 drawing that this guy did. And it was all like neon and almost in like a cyberpunk looking like background. Not like it still looked like the Ecto 1, but
right.
But the background, it was like neon lights lit up and it was like in a dark city, and like it was such a cool picture. But yeah, there were vendors there. There was all sorts of stuff that you could get in on. And yeah, like I said, voice chats that you could jump into. You could talk to anybody you wanted, and it was people all over the world. I think I'm trying to think. So
that right there, I think is a really interesting part about it is people from all over the world. Whereas, like, let's say you go to Chicago and do a C2E2 there, you're getting people are traveling from all over the place, all over the country, maybe even from different parts of the world, but you're not getting that exposure I think you could get when it comes to other people around the world and how they feel about board games, or and as developers, I'm sure you guys like crave that sort of thing because the information that you can get from these people, the different viewpoints on your product, how can we improve it, what's your thoughts on it, and you're not just getting a localized opinion, it's across the board, which is awesome. And and as somebody who wants to use people who enjoy board games as their feedback to make your product better, I mean, that's just smart business, baby, right? That's just smart business.
It was pretty cool.
It looks like Discord is turning out to be the place to go for an online convention because, like you were saying, Jordan, like there's definitely been some disastrous ones, and I don't think they were doing it via Discord. Right. Like with virtual rooms and stuff like that. I just don't know. Like it feels like, well, just from what I was watching, the little bit of what was going on yesterday on your end, Brian. Like I mean, and the Quackalope Discord, man, it is hopping all the time. Like they're just
Discord.
they got something going on, man, over there. I don't know what they're.
I will say it's pretty intimidating when you first get in there. It took me a minute to get my bearings, where I'm just like, there's so many things and constantly, and like just don't try and keep up with everything. You can't keep up with everything because it's it's like, man, new message, new comment, new thing. Like, hang on, wait, what are they talking about? Well, oh, this is in this section, this is in that section, and it's like, I've tried. You cannot keep up with everything that's happening in there, so it's just kind of like, oh, let me pop in here, see what they're talking about. Does that interest me? Maybe not. Okay, let me hop out, go check this one, so on and so forth. But yeah, no, it's done very well.
The one thing I like about the idea of doing it through Discord is if you do it like on a YouTube channel or more of a centralized place like that, or like a bigger platform like that, where you're going to get more eyes on you. But the one thing I like about the whole Discord thing is that it's more personal. It's more like a one-on-one thing, like a con is, where you can walk up to somebody and actually have that conversation. Whereas if you're watching an interview, let's just say Kevin Smith, you're watching an interview and you're trying to get your word in on the chat. You're sending super chats, but everybody's sending super chat. It's just it waters down to me. It waters down the experience because I don't have that one-on-one, with the person, or I don't have those one-on-one conversations. I'm just talking to a chat that is moving so fast that you can't keep up with it. So yeah, I feel like the Discord thing is just a better way to do it, at least from the way it sounds, or how it sounds to how you said it went. It sounds like it went great, and I would love to have that kind of experience. And so is there a plan for another one to happen?
Oh, I'm sure there will be. So they it wasn't so much of a con, or at least they didn't advertise it, but the Thanksgiving one. So the Thanksgiving one, as far as I know, at least since I've joined the Quackalope Discord, that was the first big event. So during Thanksgiving, they did it where they had a bunch of rooms and they had a bunch of games being played and giveaways and all that. That was their first one, and it went really well. Like, the mods over there, they just do an amazing job of getting this stuff set up. So now this was the first one that I believe, unless I might be missing one, but I believe this was the first like actual con. And again, it went great. From what I'm seeing, everyone had a great time. I'm sure they're going to continue to do more. I'm pretty sure that Jesse has said that he wants to do more. Because Jesse's all about community. If you haven't watched his videos, he's all about community and giving back and just bringing people together. And you really feel that if you get into Quackalope and start talking to people, you'll see it. We actually had like this the people that I played the game with later last night, afterwards we had like this very just deep discussion. We were talking about it. It was a great time. Like you said, it's like a con. Like it was basically the same thing of, if we were at a con, we would have been sitting down in a corner somewhere, maybe at a table playing a game, or just hanging out and like, oh yeah, let's just talking about whatever. So yeah, and we had, because it's Discord, we had the videos on so we could actually see each other. Some people do, some people don't, but that group, we happened to just all have the cameras on. So I mean, it was like, we're all just sitting there hanging out. I
was a fly on the wall for the Thanksgiving one, just like floating around and listening and watching people play games and stuff like that. And because I was doing a couple other different things. Like there was the Mystery Science Theater had a fundraiser and a live YouTube thing. So I was like in all these rooms at once, but just being a fly on the wall for what was going on with their Discord at Thanksgiving. It was, I mean, I can attest to that, man. There's just a lot of good people, and they just want to hang out and play games. And I mean, well, it's what we've been saying from the start with this community. Like, they're just genuine people who are interested in what kind of experience you want to have,
Yeah, and I'll touch base on that real quick. Invasion, he says, will do, and that's for a subscription on the channel. So thank you for that, brother. For that, Invasion, I'm going to go ahead and give you a clip. You guys, hopefully these guys like it. I like the clips. But here you go, my dude. Thank you, my dude. And that's the experience you get when you play Drakar. That's just what it is right there. It's like you're right there in the thick of it. Yeah. So community, and I really, that's one thing I really like about Jesse and how he talks about community. I've seen a lot of his videos on this. I mean, he constantly mentions it. I don't think whether it be a Facebook post, whether it be Twitter, whether it be YouTube, every time I comment, he comments back. And that's important, especially somebody who feels the same way about it. And the guy's got a personality to boot. So that community is really great. I love to see those people interact, man, especially on Facebook in his comment sections. Those are always fun. But it just inspires me to want to do community. Like the community I'm a part of is a great community, and I feel that love as well. So it's just good to be a part of that, man. And I'm glad that you guys have a place that you can go to and you have that experience with people that see eye to eye with on things, or maybe disagree but know how to have a conversation, which is always great too.
Right. I mean, there.
Yeah, exactly. That to me is the best. Like you can go to a community. Hey, I don't really like this. Somebody's like, well, I think that's awesome. And you're like, well, okay, let's talk about it. And then that's it. You talk about it, even if you still disagree at the end of the conversation. It's still nice to have that conversation.
This is the fun thing that I think where board games can have this crossover with real life, in that, like, if you're not the kind of person that people want to play a game with, like, then there's something wrong and you got to address it. Right. And so I feel like that works the same way with like having conversations. Like playing board games is kind of like learning how to play with people, and sometimes it's adversarial, and it's like, how do you do that in a friendly way? How do you do that in a way where you can both have fun and both learn something? I feel like there's some good crossover there, but anyway,
Oh no, definitely, man, and I know that's how you guys want to develop this community. Is the same way, inviting people in and listening. You guys see, I think out of everybody I know, when it comes to starting something, you guys are super critical about what people think, but not in a way where it compromises your overall vision. And I feel like that's a good balance to have. But you guys do want to bring people in. You care about people's opinions, and I'm just glad to see you guys continue to grow, to continue to build what you're building, and that's why I'm here, because I believe in it. So and the community is going to help us help us with that, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure these people are entertained and provide them not only with a game that they're going to love, but a place that like maybe one day they'll feel the way we do now about Quackalope, or my community is just, we love being in it. So yeah. But that's awesome, man. I would love to go to the next con, so keep me posted about that.
Yep, will do.
We can go together, guys.
It'll be great. We'll virtually hold hands. it'll be great.
Yeah, we'll make it great.
All right, so moving on here with the conversation. We got a little show and tell to talk about today. You guys obviously saw the thumbnail, a little show and tell. And again, thank you everybody for being here. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below. It helps with us, helps the channel grow, helps these guys, inspire them. It inspires them a little bit. So if you guys like inspiration, hit that like button down below. But let's go into it, man, because I'm very excited to talk about the next evolution in Drakar. Let's talk. Tell me what we got. Tell me what you got for us today. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, well, so anybody that kind of follows along with us on Facebook and that, we've shared out a couple images the last week where we just started getting it out, and we decided, hey, you know what, let's go ahead and do a live stream to really hit it home. But we now have our the 3D models back for the pieces for Drakar, and they look awesome.
Yes,
they came out so cool, so badass. So wanted to do a show and tell of that, but we're also going to show you how far this journey has been to get these pieces to where they're at. And it's, looking back and kind of the original stuff that I went and pulled out just to show off for you guys. but they yeah, it's been a heck of a journey, and I think everybody's gonna love these. They are extremely awesome. So I'll go ahead and I'll switch over so you guys can see them all lined up here in a row, and then we'll do some other things. Hey, what's up, Thomas? Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, Thomas, thank you. Hey, all hail Thomas Gilkey. All hail.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I love the detail too. The detail in these things, like the comparison shots that you sent out were just. I was like, wow, because I thought they were good before, like the first rendition of them.
Right? Yeah, that's
and then
how I was.
And then the second one, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And then to have this final product, it's like,
dude,
whoa.
this and just a little preempt. So like we've gone from your initial idea, Ryan sketch, to your carving, then to my concepts, and then a redo, and then this guy, the artist that you had do this, or that we hired for this, he managed to capture the essence of both like classical feel that we wanted for the pieces, but also everything that like we had put into it already. Like he just so anyway.
No, that's it's great. All right, let's show these bad boys off.
Yeah.
All right, so here is the nice close zoom in. These are the actual pieces that I printed. They obviously not from the manufacturer, but these are those awesome little pieces there. You got the Chieftain, Shield Maiden, Archer, and Berserker. And the Chieftain has his little arrow damage markers in his shield.
Yeah.
Those are cool, dude. When did you get those worked out?
So these are, I've started 3D printing these as soon as I got the files. So I've been just going to town on them. I'm going to start, I had to get a couple different colors of the filament to continue so that I can make our review copies and that. These were the first ones for made a set for myself, obviously. And Brian, actually, Brian, did you get yours yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. So Brian's are on the way. We're going to start knocking these out. But yeah, so there are the pieces. Nice little up close. Got my nice my new card cam here. So I got it all zoomed in for you guys so you can get a nice close look there.
Oh, man.
Right. Yeah, the damaged holes there. That's great.
Yep.
They look great, man. They look phenomenal.
So that is those. Now let me just switch you guys over. I'll pull up the side by sides. We're kind of going in reverse order here a little bit. Well, yeah, we'll go in reverse order. We'll get all the way back to the beginning. So next up we have. This is the side-by-side comparison. So this one over here is our Shield Maiden, the resin one. So this is the resin copy that came out after me and Brian made some molds off of my wood carvings. Obviously, it's standing next to the final version here, just so you can see the difference. And like I said, those resin pieces just looked absolutely amazing. I thought they were the coolest thing in the world. And now seeing this,
yeah, totally.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was just going to be happy if he had made a direct. I thought he was going to make just a direct copy.
I did too.
And then like, I love that like he didn't ask us and he just like did his thing. And I was like, yeah.
Yep. So there is the back of the shield.
Wow. Wow. So now, which pieces did you send off to him exactly?
I didn't send him anything. I sent him a picture of the of these resin ones. Actually, I sent him a picture of the wooden ones, and then he did what he did.
Dude, that's awesome.
So these are the actual models that he sent out. Sorry, these aren't in order, so I'm all over the place. There you can see them all side by side in the wood tone.
That's wicked cool, man. So it looks like they had to be made a little bit bigger.
They're the same size as the wooden piece that you can see there. This was the
it does look like it is a little bit bigger, especially with the sword and the helmet.
Yeah, they're girthier, and we had room to expand because of how big each grid is, how big the grid is. You know, like getting the scale of everything has been an interesting. Well, it gives you perspective, right? Because you make the pieces and you make the grid, and then you put it on there, and this is one of those things where like we cast the resin molds, and then you get it on the board, and it's like, okay, these could be bigger, right? Like.
Yeah, no, that it's wicked cool that he did that.
Yeah,
I love the bulkier feel. I feel like with the bulkier figure, they feel more like a Viking. You know what I mean? Vikings, big, burly kind of people, and it just feels a little more full. You can here. I'm going to bring that up here and give me a second because I really want to see the detail in here. That you guys are seeing like on the hood, the creases in the hood, and like.
Most of that top part is just the 3D print, but yeah,
right.
This
right.
here,
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Because what that does is, and Brian as an artist would know. I mean, it creates effect, shadowing effect. It's a depth thing. It's a deeper feel on the piece. It feels more. It just feels right.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that. I love that. With the. Yeah, that's cool. This figure kind of reminds me of that. What is it? The Led Zeppelin. Oh man,
yes.
I can't believe I'm blanking on this right now. Of course, but anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah, I'm blanking on it too, so it's all good.
So that is our archer. Which the archer I didn't actually prepare the archer went through a little redesign. So this was his. The original carved archer, which this was going to be. He was going to have a helmet on. He wasn't going to have a hood. This is where Brian was talking about. So I made the archers. This was my original or what the carving looked like. And then Brian took that and he drew the archers and he decided to give them a hood. And then I recarved the archers with a hood. And then, this is what we got from our 3D modeler. Then we have our Berserker, which again, the Berserker just already looked like a really cool piece. But the fact that now you can, you got like his mouth sticking out from underneath the headdress. He's still got those badass axes to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those axes are awesome, dude.
Yep.
I agree, Kashyyyk. An amazing evolution indeed. Like, and then you have this. To me, I think the Chieftain and the Berserker and the Chieftain may be the most the biggest changes, I think, maybe at least in my opinion. But I love that he's got the cape on, the new one. He's got the sword. The shield looks great. I mean, look at the detail in that shield.
Yeah, so this was the original Chieftain, and as I've talked about for anybody that's been with us for a while, how much I hate the Viking horn thing because of how that isn't true.
Right.
The only reason we were going to do that was because in the beginning it's like, well, everybody thinks that anyway, and it does make it very obvious who the chieftain is. But when you guys see the actual game, the Chieftain is already a lot bigger than the other. Well, like I said, you go to this picture here, you can see that Chieftain is, quite a bit taller than the rest. So it's very obvious which one that Chieftain is. But yeah, so this was the first carved Chieftain, and then we decided, hey, you know what, let's go ahead and mix it up. So this is the wooden one. This is the Chieftain's redesign where he got the actual helmet. He's got he's got his beard really coming down. You can see that his cloak is coming around the sides there. Then obviously on the back he actually has the fur and the cape and all that, where
I gotta say though that that's the last piece you recarved, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because that's a really well done carve. That's a really well done. Like,
I loved that.
Even if he had copied it exactly, it would still be good, man. It's fun to see just how much you progressed, even in something like the carvings from like when you first started, like
yeah. Well, and that's I appreciate it. That's actually when you can't see it here. One of the things I was the most happy with myself about on this one, and you can't even see it in this, in his cape, other than the little bit of fur on top. But in his cape here, I actually would put in the ruffles and the creases that it makes the cape look like it does have some like wind moving through it. Unfortunately, the lighting just doesn't capture it. But let's see. Oh yeah, then we have these, which you guys saw, and to our shield maidens. There they all are together, and the backs of all of them.
And of course, the, the damage markers. Now, the damage markers was an issue that you had ran into relatively early in the process of doing all this, right?
As far as
just like how you were going to create them, like something like it was something that was implemented, and you were like, this has to be implemented in the game. This is something unique,
Right.
something different that we wanted. And I know there were some challenges when you were talking to manufacturers and things like that about those damage markers. Can you touch base a little bit on that?
Yeah. So the main thing being that with the damage markers is because the holes are so small in these pieces. We're still kind of talking with the manufacturers about this, so that we're still waiting to hear what's going to kind of happen and go from this. But with how tiny they are, so going back to these, like how small that these little damage markers are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this is how tiny I can bear. Like they're little, just tiny pegs.
And that's 3D printed, right?
Yeah, so these are all printed on my 3D printer. So here,
wow.
Oops, sorry.
Oh yeah, they're tiny.
But like here is like our standard size pen,
right?
For for comparison and how close that zoom is. You can hold them like like I can hang on to them and I can easily say, oh yeah, Chieftain got damaged. Just go ahead and put that in there. But for them to mass produce these, they just need to make sure that the molds are going to be able to hold the damage marker, those holes in the piece themselves, and then once they get to those damage markers, the arrows, that they can actually make those and not have those all breaking off or anything. At this point, we're planning for those to actually just be wood. Our modeler just went ahead and threw these in for us because we asked her, like, hey, would you mind? And he's like, no problem, sure, not a big deal. So we're talking that those might be the stretch goal to get to the, to do the actual arrows like that. But again, that's all going to depend on what our manufacturers tell us and say.
They look good, man. Especially that side profile. They look good with the markers in it, man.
Yeah, they do.
It makes you feel like you, yeah.
Yeah, it looks very cool when they're in there, and like it just makes it easy to see, like, oh yeah, damage markers. All right, he's definitely got an arrow in him.
I can't wait to get my pieces. Oh my I'm gonna play a solo game. The second I get my pieces, I'm gonna play a solo game.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I can't wait. And I know on my channel at some point soon, I want to challenge one of you guys, probably Brian, because I may have a better chance of winning.
Oh man.
A little street talk there, boys. Anyway, it's all exciting, man. Real quick, I just kind of want to plug too, for anybody who's interested in maybe trying out Drakar, on Tabletop Simulator, there is a version of the game you could play.
Yes.
And if you guys want to play test that game, you could just reach out to one of us, I believe it's Omni Lucid Media at gmail.com. Email us, hit us up. We'd love to get you guys involved, get your opinions on the game, what you guys think. We would love to.
OmniLucidMedia.com, and we have an email sign up. And so we're collecting emails now before we do the initial going to launch page for Kickstarter, because then that'll collect emails too. But if you want to get on it early, we're just collecting them right now. And then this year, man, we're rolling it out. So it's just, everything's going good as far as the instruction book is getting there. It's almost done. We get the 3D pieces. We're talking with manufacturers. I'm really excited about where we're at.
Yep. I can feel it on the
artwork is all done. Oh my God. I was sitting last night being like, what am I supposed to be doing now? The artwork's done. You know what I mean?
Playing video games with me.
Yeah, but you work on art for something for 2 years, and it's after a while, it's just all right, it's the thing that I'm doing every night, and now it's
yeah. Yeah, no, man.
What am I doing?
No, I have other things to do.
So see, that's the thing. You're done with the artwork for now, right?
Yes, that's right.
For now, because expansion. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. I had a little coughing fit there. I apologize. But no, I'm very excited, man. The pieces, the new pieces are just fantastic. I cheesed for about an hour after I saw the first pictures of them. I'm very, very excited, man. Now, I think you were showing me before the stream, there was some other pieces, some of the very original. Yes, very original. Like, this is before the carved versions of these things. This is like the primordial sludge that is Drakar.
So this is, I pulled this out for you guys just so people could see the beginnings of Drakar. So this is my original notebook. This is all this game was ever supposed to be. It was literally going to be a one-off little party game that we played with our friends, and this is all it was going to be, was this one little page. And yeah, so you can see down here my little drawings. There were going to be two different types of chieftains. You got the little archer, the berserker, and it wasn't even a shield maiden then. It was just going to be a fighter. So this was the beginning of Drakar. You can see up there we even originally had it spelled differently. And then these were our pieces.
Give us a close-up of those. Give us a close-up of the pieces.
Yeah, so anybody that's a designer and you're wondering like, oh, I don't know what to do or how to do these things, these were our pieces. These were our prototypes. Well, actually, these were our pieces, and then this became our prototype version. So that is the chieftain. Triangles were archers. Squares were shield maidens, I think. Yeah, squares were shield maidens, and circles were berserkers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys can see over here, these were the original boards cut out to look like ships.
Wow.
They have the letters on there. That was just so me and Brian could play. This was before tabletop. So me and Brian could play the game over the phone and actually know where we were going and what we were doing.
Man.
This is where it started. This is where it's come from. But yeah, that's one thing with designers that, like how stuff, there you go. Hey, there was my original concept. Actually, that's not true. This was my original concept.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no artist here for the box
Go ahead and
cover.
flip that sideways there, buddy. I want to see the full. Yeah, there you go.
So this was my original concept for the box cover. Horribly done. No good. Then I moved into this, which then Brian obviously took. And for anybody that's seen the Drakar cover, that got turned into what is now the Drakar box cover. Actually, let's see. I can probably pull that up here real quick.
Because like originally it was like we were going back and forth, and I'm like, oh man, the cover just doesn't grab me, and so we started going back and forth, trying to figure it out, and then I love turning your sketch. It was really fun, and this was for a couple of cards, for a number of the cards too, just turning your sketches into something larger.
I don't have the current one with our new logo, but I have this one that I could pull up so you guys can see that we went from this, which was my sketch, into what Brian took it, worked his magic, and we have this. So yeah, it's all works in progress.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So
wow,
much fun.
That's hard to believe.
Just gonna say, because you guys can see it here, I love this freaking thing. The Stream Deck. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I got it. I'm getting one, man. I have
just start switching through, just pressing buttons, get through everything super quick.
Look at you, man. So fancy. Look at that.
So fancy.
He's outgrown the teacher, man. He's now become the master of the stream.
Yeah, it's that was something when I got this, and I was just like, man, like Jordan, I don't know how he doesn't have one of these yet. Like, I mean, me and Ashley, we do our playthroughs, and I mainly got this thing because I was like, God, I'm so sick of using my mouse and that everybody can see me like over here, like, hang on, let me get up here and let me press my button or let me find it. And I'm using a wireless mouse, so it's not moving as quick as like a regular. I was like, God, this just sucks so bad. Then I picked this sucker up, and again, I'm just 1, 2, 3, 4 moving through those suckers.
See, it allows you to produce your own shows. Pretty fantastic.
It does, and I haven't even gotten through half of the stuff you can do with this thing. But it was something that I was thinking about, and so Jordan, this was something that me and Brian were talking about, and I know there haven't been very many perks to our job so far because of how we're doing this, but
I'm not in it for the perks, buddy.
Well, you know what? We decided to just serve something anyway, so there you go, bud.
Get out of here, man!
Guess what's here waiting for you?
Oh, stop it!
Yeah, right there, just waiting for you. Check that out.
Like, you've earned it, buddy. I'm
like eating. I have. Oh God, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's freaking awesome, man.
Yep, I thought you could probably use one of those, but I didn't know when the next time you'd be able to come out here. So I worked some magic. I'm gonna have to call in on my assistant here. So magic assistant, if you could, come help us out.
Man, get the hell out of here. You better not get out of here with this crap.
So just hang on a minute.
Oh my God, you guys, what the hell, man?
It's a great idea, Ryan. It was a great idea.
Oh my God. I don't even want to show my face on camera now. I don't think I've ever had it. I don't think there's ever been a grown man that made me blush, man.
Oh, I want to see those blushy cheeks. Come on.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you, Keshik. I appreciate you. For those of you who don't know, Keshik is my beautiful fiance and now assistant to Ryan Eaters, which is fantastic. Oh my God. Oh man. Thank you guys so much, man. That's wow. Wow. As if I wasn't busy enough setting up streams. Now I gotta set this.
I will tell you what, it is extremely easy to use. The fact that I was able to figure it out so fast. Now you're going to be able to do way more stuff with it than I probably ever could. So I'm excited to see it. But
Invasion. Yeah, thanks, man. Yes, I am definitely red and my face hurts. I'm gonna wait to cry till after the stream if that's cool. Thank you. Thank you guys so much, man. That's wow. Keshik says mission accomplished. Great job, Ryan and Brian. Nah, man, look, I don't do it. I'll tell you this.
We know you don't do it for that, but it's one of those that, we were like, Jordan's always doing all this awesome stuff for us. And, and again, every time I use this thing, I'm like, Jordan needs this. Why doesn't Jordan have this? Jordan needs this. Like he can do so much more. Like I said, to me, I'm just changing my screen and recording and stopping and all that. You're gonna be able to like do all sorts of crazy stuff. So yeah, I talked to Brian. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? I think he deserves a little reward for all of his hard work on the.
Man, I feel like I don't
stuff.
do enough around here, man. I feel like I don't do enough, and we're gonna step it up, man. Thank you guys so much. That's great. God, Invasion says we want to see red ords. Well, on my other streams, you've already seen orange. You've already seen white. I've been told I look like I have kidney failure. So that's always fun.
You have jaundice.
Yeah, jaundice. You know what? To that, guys. I'm going to polish off this last little bit of this beautiful drink that my boy Ryan here made, and hopefully, do you have a drink there? Brian, because we got to do this the right way. All right, guys, you ready? Skull.
Go.
Oh.
Now I get to crack open the other bottle. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much, man. That's truly that's an honor. Wow. Yes, I did. Yeah. I can't mention the word fiance around her without her like screeing. Like it's
Hey, we know somebody else. We know somebody else that screes in this group.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yo, what's going on, Angelus Draven? Yo, how are you, Angelus?
Those damn
Hopefully well.
Kriegels.
Oh yeah, the Kriegels.
What's going on? Angelus?
What
Thanks
is
for
it?
coming by.
Northeastern, those northeastern Kriegels or
Yep,
whatever.
the northeastern Kriegels.
If you guys don't know, which gameplay was that? Which gameplay was that?
Pretty sure that was Champions of Midgard.
Yeah, if you guys want, that's a reference to one of our videos. Is pretty good. Yes, and hopefully Angelus as well. Yukon Bordelicious. Okay. Sure. We'll go with that, Angelus. We'll go with that. Anyway, enough about me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. We're here to talk about you guys actually, and this beautiful company that you guys have put together, and the work that you guys have been doing, tirelessly. Like I said, I can't keep up with you guys back and forth, man. And I try to go through. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I'm just gonna I'm gonna respond to whatever the last message was, and that's what I'm gonna do with it. But for you guys to do that for me, that means a lot. So, thank you.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that. All right, so that was the bare bones early, like the first incantation of what Drakar was. What else do you have to talk about? What else do you have to show us? Because what have we done so far since the last time we got together and talked about it with Drakar in regards?
Basically, just like Brian said, the rule book is just about finished. Brian did an awesome job of laying that sucker out and throwing in all the amazing artwork.
Oh, dude, can you click through it?
That's what I was just like, hey, I can pull maybe. Let's see, where do I think I had that pulled up somewhere. Hang on, you guys talk and let me see if I can find it here, because I know I have it somewhere. I just don't have to find it.
Yeah, and Angelus, you'll have to go back and watch the replay. We showed off the new pieces and the detail on the new pieces and everything earlier in the stream, man.
You mean these pieces?
Oh, look at that! There they are.
My God, I bumped my the card cam there.
In the excitement, in the excitement,
I did.
Look at those pieces. Oh, they're so beautiful.
Yeah,
they're so beautiful.
All right. Okay. So here, I got the instruction book.
You bringing it up? Use that Stream Decks, baby.
That's right. Got to use that Stream Deck. All right. So this is the instruction book.
Hey, as a matter of fact, you know what? You guys run the show. I'm gonna go install this thing. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm just kidding. Go on.
Oops. So this is the instruction book as it is now. So got that awesome Odin artwork.
I love, Brad. You're so good.
Some flavor text. Now that we got those pieces, Brian was able to throw that in there, showing off all the components. And I'm going to go through this kind of quick just because nobody wants to see and read all this.
See, look at it. I love it. Just the visuals right there with the board laid out like that, and then the cards. Oh, it looks so professional.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, Brian did an awesome job on all this. This was something I was talking about with people yesterday that were play testing as well. And I was saying, you know what, our rule book is maybe a little bit bigger than others, but that's because we really tried to put in as many of these descriptors and like these little grids and all this, like you've been seeing me scroll past, just to make it as clear as possible how things work. Just so everybody can jump into the game and really like, okay, how does that? Oh, okay, here's an example. Perfect. I know how this works. Lots of awesome images.
Showing people just different teaching styles and showing people how the different pieces work. It just allows you to pick it up much faster.
Yep. You got pictures, you got words, you got examples. So many.
Now, can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges in making the rule book, because it's no easy task, I'm sure.
God, I don't know what's given me more heart palpitations, the pieces or the rule book.
Now,
No,
okay.
Rule book.
Well, the rule book has just been the recent thing. I mean, it's like, yeah, man, I don't know, because the rule book was something that like we all kind of avoided and just did the bare minimum because we're like, oh, we can teach people how to play it better than we can write it down, and that was like the hardest part is learning how to talk about the game, and so like the funny thing is the last edition of the rule book was still unreadable as far as blind playtesting goes. People were like, they couldn't figure out how to play the game. And it was just like, you're like, oh my God,
I remember that early draft. I remember that early
Yeah.
draft, like having
so bad.
flipping back between the papers, like, okay, we flipped this. So wait, okay, how does this? Okay, well, hold on. I got it. Yeah, no, it was definitely interesting back in the day, but
2 to 4 player.
Yeah, this.
Both of them.
So, like, the biggest challenge here. What did you run into here with the biggest challenge?
Layout, man. It's a layout, and well, I'll tell you what. Okay, the biggest thing is how am I going to create examples, as many examples that need to be made without my head exploding. So keeping track of everything that needs to be done, and then figuring out how to talk about it systematically, like in a way that's really comprehensive. Like you boil it down to the bare minimum of what needs to be said. Yeah, that's been the hardest part. It's just like, how do we make these examples work, and how do I do it in a way that I don't go crazy? So there you go. This is the last rendition of the rulebook, and like the examples were there, but like just the way that we had the layout format, like people were reading it and they just didn't comprehend. Like there was no initial examples of how the game is played. So it's like they get through the book and it's like, but how do I play the game?
no quick start. Just hey, here you go.
Yeah, set up and then just jump in. And we're like, oh yeah, I guess we do have to explain that. It's like one of those no dumb moments,
But something you learn along the way. It's nice. It's and you'll take that into the next game that you develop. Which I hope we talk about that sometime soon.
I don't remember what this one is. I think this was the in between. Yeah, this was the in between.
Okay, so, yeah.
I was trying to see if I had like the original, just black and white, which I know I do somewhere, but yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's wicked cool. So, the rule book being the biggest pain for you guys, I find that very interesting.
Yeah, that rendition, the newest one, took a month to write, and I was just chipped away at it for it was about a month.
It's just because it's something that we've never had to write a rule book for a game, and it's one of those you don't realize how hard it is to explain something or to write out how to play something to people. I think it would be kind of difficult even with a game that's already set, but the fact that it's our game, we know exactly how everything works. So when we're explaining it to people, we're maybe not explaining it the best because it's like, well, I know how that works in my head, and you have to make sure that you're explaining it in a way that it makes sense to anybody else's head, which I've gotten really good at that now with doing the play tests. But we're not going to be there like when we do our play test and tabletop. I can explain it and walk through it, and I'm pretty good at that now. But when this game comes out and it's showing up at people's doorsteps and they're opening it up and, hey, we're going to get this to the table, we're not going to be there to tell them how to play. So they're going to have to look through that rule book and figure it all out. So yeah,
true story. But if you guys do have questions, feel free to email us at omnilucidmedia@gmail.com. But yeah, no, definitely. I can see how that would be difficult. I mean, I've had at least some of my experience with some board games I've played in the past and rule books. It's like they always seem to leave one or two things out where it's like, now I have to question this. You know what I mean? And for you guys to take as much care and cautiousness with this definitely makes me feel good. And as I think consumers or people who are even watching this live stream would think like, okay, cool, that's good. They really care about explaining it in a way that everybody's going to understand it, because as much as we would love to hear from you guys via email about it, we probably don't want to inconvenience you guys that way. We want you to be able to open up the game, read the book, and just go on your adventure. You know what I mean? Go on your journey, your ship. That's what we want. We want you guys to be able to get immersed in this right away, not have to wait because we didn't explain the rules to you enough. Which is, you guys have been killing it, man. You guys have been doing awesome. That looks great. And I would have never thought that it would take that long to actually put together an instruction booklet.
The first one didn't. The first one took me. I think it took me maybe a day to write. But that one also. But that's me just writing it. It took Brian that long because he has to deal with images and layout and everything. I was literally just putting words down. But yeah, that rule book.
It's nuts. It's been such a great learning experience. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but if you don't let it overwhelm you, it's a lot of fun, and it involves all the things that I really enjoy doing. So,
Oh, here we go. All right. I just found this is the Drakar Tactics. This is the second edition. I don't know if I even have the first edition. I probably do, but again. So this is
real quick though, and then audience, if you guys, this is a Q&A, so feel free to ask us questions in the chat. Interact with us, guys. That's what we're here for, to answer your questions. I don't care even if you ask us if we wear our socks to bed. I don't care. Just ask us some questions, guys. We want you to interact. Go on.
All right. So this is the original. This is the second. Sorry, like I said, not the original. This was the second iteration of the Drakar rulebook.
Wow.
So here you go. This is no artwork. This is just words.
I gotta say, I enjoy reading, but
oh, that's right. I forgot. I did put in some grids for movement in that. So there you go. Yeah. Couple little image-esque things.
Oh yeah, I remember I think this is the one that I had actually.
Yeah, this is. Oh,
I still have it.
This is the thing you were talking about flipping back and forth and where and what.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it was like being back in school again. Like, you got to turn in your packet, like, oh, wait.
Oh, God.
Yeah, turn in your packets, kids.
There you go. So that is the second iteration, which is basically the same as the first. I'm sure the first just didn't include. Actually, I think the only thing the first didn't include was the knocked overboard rules.
Yeah. But do you wear your socks to bed, Jordan?
Heck no. I'm not a weird.
I was wondering.
Not weird.
Yeah. Okay. I don't. My feet have to be naked.
Yeah, man. Totally. You ever have that, like, off topic, but like you're under the blankets and you're really warm, and then you just kick your feet out, and then you're cool.
Yeah.
That's the best, man. It's like the perfect. It regulates the temperature perfectly.
You let the monster suck on your toes, and put you right to back.
Yeah. Yes. Man, I just love what you guys are doing, man. I can't wait to see this all happen. Now, do we have an idea for like are we still not closer to a launch date?
Summer.
Okay, so we can say that
summer.
Block of time.
That's what we're hoping for. Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're pushing for, hoping for, all that. Okay.
Yep. Now we're we really just have to hear back from a manufacturer to hear the final quote. We already got one where they were giving us an estimate, but again, they didn't have the STL files for the pieces. So they looked at what I had, and then they tried to make a they tried to come up with an estimate based off of what they saw. But yeah, we'll see what the new one comes back as now that we have the actual files that they can test and do whatever they need to.
Well, that's weird. I've never had that ever, Angelus. Depends on my mood, if I keep your socks on or not. Your mood?
By his mood, he might mean his level of inebriation.
Well, maybe
there's that, but there's also like different kinds of socks, right? Like if you slip into like a really nice fuzzy kind of like just slip it on and just go to bed.
Definitely.
Right? I can see that.
Remind me never to come stay at your house. With that, let's see here. We've got stop naked feet shaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All toes are equal.
All naked.
Anyway, Vikings. Vikings.
Yeah, no, but real quick, just because these boys have been they've been getting lit in the chat here. I'm gonna Angelus, this one's for you, buddy. And that is the Berserker experience you get when you play Drakar. It just feels so good, man. That's literally that's actually a scene from us, from gameplay footage of us playing the game. That's what that scene is from. So
I don't even think I say the word. I don't think I say we say the word Viking once in the rulebook. I don't think it's even in there once.
Really? Is that by design?
Technically,
a little bit.
They're not Vikings. They're Norse warriors. Vikings.
Yeah, I say Norseman. I say warrior. We say everything but Viking in the rulebook.
Why is that? It's just because that's not what they were referred to back then.
Because Vikings. No, they were called Vikings, but only the Norse people that were actual Vikings. Viking means pirate. So they would say Vikings are coming. What they're really saying are pirates are coming. And they would go and they would raid and all this other thing. But that's one of the things, the Norse people did not refer to themselves as we are Vikings. Yeah.
Right.
No, they would call themselves, we're Norse warriors and, whatever else, but they wouldn't refer to themselves as we are the Viking people or anything like that.
Right.
It's just something that, through, what's the word I'm looking for? Pop culture, through pop culture that people have just come to think Vikings, Norse people were all Vikings. They weren't. They went on raids, they did all that stuff, but they were only Vikings if they were actually going out and pirating.
Like some people were captains, but not all captains were pirates.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of. Maybe.
Yeah. Now, I mean, other people might have called them Vikings if they're raiding, because then, hey, you're coming to take my stuff. Because but it wasn't hey, we're all just hanging out back on the farm and in the lodge house, and hey, Viking, yeah,
right. A little knowledge to partay. That is awesome, and that's the other thing too that I love about the Drakar, for the people watching, is the attention to detail with history, and what's put in the game is very important to these guys. And sometimes you got to blur the lines a little bit, but what it comes down to is this game is steeped in historical, what's the word I'm looking for? It draws a lot from the it's inspirational. That's what I mean. It's the old history of the Vikings, the real history of the Vikings, is very inspired in this game. So if you guys that sort of thing,
and this is really, Brian and I are just turning our love of history, but medieval history, into a game, and because this is what we were before we were designing Drakar, Ryan was essentially just paying me to do cool historical sketches and stuff, and then eventually it was just dude, why don't we make something? We were doing this before, and then with the game stuff, with Neater's Blues and everything. But now it's just well, let's just do it. Let's just do it in a really cool game form, so yeah.
Let everyone play.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we do have that passion that just started way before Drakar did, and we're just bringing it, and it's going to be for pretty much as many games as we can. It's just kind of this.
Now, let me ask you this question, and I want answers from both of you before we wrap this up here. Because I want to, when I do interviews, and I guess I'm not necessarily interviewing you guys, but I like to be the one who asks the questions when it comes to this, because there are times where I like to do deep dives into who people really are. Now, when it comes to the game as a whole, how do you feel when you finally find something in your life that you are so passionate about that when you wake up in the morning, that's what you think about, and when you go to bed at night, that's what you think about? Because me personally, growing up, it wasn't until I discovered this YouTube thing that I really found a passion for something. that I think about when I wake up, and I always constantly, how can I improve it? How can I improve it? How can I improve it? Even when I don't want it to be on my mind, it's like on my mind. Was there a point in time that you guys realized, like, okay, this is it. This is my passion. I can't put it down. And now that it's just become a part of your life, it's not so much work anymore. It is now a fraction of your life. It is so, getting up and working on Drakar is so ingrained in you guys that it is a part of your life. When did you guys discover that, and expound upon that a little bit? We'll start with Brian.
Well, I mean, I've always wanted to be an artist ever since I was a little kid. But you know, as an artist, like, you know, where you fit kind of changes as you get older, and you try to figure out what you want out of life. And I feel like, you know, until we decided to do this thing with Omni Lucid and Drakar, I kind of was just like, I felt I had that still, but it was like my own personal projects, and it was like in another kind of art world. And it was good, but it in doing this, I realized how much more fulfilling this is in contrast to where I was. And I'll never let the fine art thing go, and the gallery world go. I'll never let that go. But like, building this has really, like, it's taken everything that I've learned before and everything that I've wanted, and put it into something that, like, yeah, I do feel that more now than ever, you know. And so, like, and the closer we get to making this game, it's like it's ramping me up even more, where it's like every night before I go to sleep, I'm thinking about it. I wake up and I just keep thinking about it, you know, and it's great. So yeah.
For me, sometimes it's kind of a scary thing, because you like set a bar for yourself, and when you don't achieve that, I mean, you could be your own worst critic. And especially when you've got like your friends involved, man. I mean, there's days I beat myself up because, like, oh, I forgot to do this, or I forgot to post that on Twitter, or I forgot to, you know what I mean? Like, I'll beat myself up over it. And I would imagine that it's probably maybe similar to you. It's like, if there's something missed, you're like, oh crap, man. I got to be on the ball with that, you know, not just for your own sake, but because everybody else is involved. And but what I like about it is you guys you're passionate about it, but you don't let your passion allow you to dictate your actions when it comes to the way you interact with even me or anybody else in the community. I love it, man, because I think a lot of people could really get carried away with their passions and allow it to take over their lives. And I'm sure maybe you guys have seen that from time to time, where you're like, all you want to do is just sit there and do nothing, but it's like, I have to get this done. But once it is, like, and I think the difference is once you get on the other side of that, it's more satisfying. Like you said, it's more satisfying that you have accomplished something like that than maybe something else that you did that we were a little less invested in. But was there a specific moment that you realized that, or was it just like a gradual thing over time?
Man, it was just like, I don't know if it was I don't know if it was a specific moment, but like, I think there was at one point when, like, we got like the full set and the game was like sitting before us. It was like, this is real, and like, this is possible, you know. But I don't remember like a certain, I don't know. Do you, Ryan?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
let's be honest. Let's be honest. The best was when I came into the group. That was the moment. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Ryan. Was there a moment that when you realized you're like, okay, this is it. Like this is my life now. Like, other than making money to pay my bills, this is my life.
This is my life. I don't know if it was so much a this is my life, but there was definitely the I want this to be my life moment. And that was, I think Brian, kind of hit it on the head when we had our first game development weekend, and we were making the molds and the pieces and all of that. We started making the resin pieces that weekend, because me and Brian just hit it so, like, that weekend was just like nonstop, like next. I mean, we were we were up late every night. I want to say we didn't go to bed before midnight, and actually we probably didn't go to bed before 2.
Get out! I've never seen you guys stay up that late.
Easily one. I know one for sure.
Yeah.
We did not go to bed before 1 o'clock.
All right.
Every
Next
single
time
night.
I'm over, I'm gonna remind you guys of that when it's like midnight. You're like, oh, I'm tired. I'm
No,
like,
no,
no.
I think you're right. I think that was the weekend, the first game development weekend, when because I remember, now that you said that, I remember looking up and being like, oh my god, it's already 12:30. It's already midnight. We've been up since like 8 o'clock, and we've been at this like.
And that was the thing. We would be up until the early. Like, we did not go to bed before 1 o'clock any night, and we were typically back up and already at it again. Actually, we were usually back up by like 6:30. No, probably not that early. By 7, we were up by 7, and we were probably back at it by 8.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And it was a 3 or no 4.
It was at least 3 days.
At least 3. It might have been 4.
Yeah,
our other game so far, that's the only one where we really went that into it with it. It seems like every game development weekend since that, it's like, let's back it up a little bit, a little bit more. We can probably ease off a little more.
I think part of that is we enjoy each other's company, and that makes it difficult to get work done because you're hanging out with your friends and you're like, man, I always want to do this, or talk this, or drink this, or do that.
That, and it's just like when you got a game that early, and it just takes a lot more. It just takes a lot more time, and then after. So by the time we get to the second and third game development weekends, like we pretty much know exactly what we needed to work on. Versus like the first weekend where it was like, we have all this stuff to learn about and figure out, not only learn about like the mold making process, but like then produce the molds and then develop parts of the game as that in prototype stuff. So it was like all encompassing, but like figuring out how to make molds is like really gave us the leg up when we got to talking to the factory, talking to the Panda at first, I remember talking to the Panda and our representative. She was like, "Oh, you guys know how to make molds?" Because like she started talking about it, and she's like, it's kind of technical and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Well, we are familiar with how to cast stuff in resin, so we're aware of the limitations of the pieces." And she was like really impressed by that. But in my mind, I think like, how could you not want to know about that?
Yeah,
if you're gonna make a game with pieces in it, you should know how to do it. You should know what is involved in doing it, because otherwise you're just blindly asking this producer, and they can tell right away that you know nothing, and so yeah.
Yeah, it also helped that at that point, it was still so early in the game that we were set that we were going to have Drakar concept to on Kickstarter within a year. Like we were just, hey, we're going to do this. And then after that weekend, and the more we got into it, we realized kind of like how things actually work and how long it takes to get things done. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see, yeah.
But let me ask you this: ultimately, do you think it's a better thing that it's taken as long as it has? Because I feel like you guys have learned a lot through this process.
I would say yes. That's one I refer to it where I say, hey, COVID has been a double-edged sword for us because it slowed us down a lot to where even if we wanted to, we couldn't have made your car. But at the same time, because of that, it made us slow down to where now there's so many refining things that we've just been doing in the meantime where not all, but a decent amount of companies, when they throw stuff up on Kickstarter, they basically, a lot of times they'll have a lot of the nice flashy stuff, but they're still working out mechanics. They're still working through gameplay and different aspects of the game. And that's just because, they got to get them out because that's their income. They're a company that it's like, hey, next board game, more income, and keep the lights on and keep people paid. But with us, it was like, okay, well, we can't really do anything anyway, so let's just keep working on this. Let's keep revamping the rule book. Let's keep working on mechanics. Let's, let's come up with this other thing. Let's do this other thing. I honestly don't know if there would be a solo mode in the game. If it wasn't for COVID, there might not have been a solo mode because we couldn't figure it out at that time. We probably would have already been like, well, you know what? We want to get this out, so let's get this out. But because of COVID, we had to sit back, and luckily Brian had his epiphany of how it was going to work, and now we have a solo mode. So
Yeah.
and like I said, it's been double edged for sure.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I can imagine, man, with that. But I think obviously the product is a stronger product at this point because of it, because of the work that you were able to, the extra work you were able to put into it. And you guys are obviously okay with that, right?
Oh yeah, we didn't know. I don't think we knew what we had when we were first figuring this game out. And the other key element was like when you're finally play testing it and you're getting people's input, that's part of what the game's going to become. And so, this has been a really big learning process because how the game developed was alongside us setting up Omni Lucid Media as a studio that's able to produce stuff. So it's like build computers and figure out how to work programs and like re-educate yourself on Photoshop and Affinity Publisher and these publishing programs and video editing programs. It's like one thing after the next. So it's like, yeah, but not only that, but then like just pushing the mechanics in the system within the game Drakar took a lot of professional input from the community who has been wonderful. And now I feel like, I don't think I'm really, the pandemic has been a blessing and a curse because Drakar is approaching its final form and like I love it. And I don't think it's funny because it's like to say I don't think I would have loved it as much before the pandemic sounds weird, but like it definitely wouldn't be what it is, and I love what it is. So it's like it wouldn't have been able to happen without it. So unfortunately, but yeah, we've taken advantage of the time given to us, and I'm really happy with the way it's going.
Yeah, it was definitely where it was. Hey, we could have just been like, well, can't do anything, so I guess we just sit and do nothing. And we were both just like, oh no, just keep working on stuff, make it better, work on other things, whatever we need to do, we'll keep moving. So yeah,
very nice. No, I love it. I'm glad you guys have put in the work, and I'm glad it is what it is today. On that note, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap this stream up. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys in the chat. I appreciate that. While I'm wrapping this up, if you guys do have questions, feel free to throw them on in the chat. What were you gonna say, Ryan?
Oh, I just said thanks, everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Keshi Queen, thank you for being here. Angelus Draven, thank you so much. Invasion, thank you for coming out. Thomas Gilkey, of course, thank you for coming out. You guys have all been awesome. If you're catching this on the replay, we appreciate that. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We do these Q&As once a month, give or take, where we just come together. We talk about what's going on in our lives, talk about what's going on behind the scenes. We talk about our game specifically. Outside of the Q&A streams that we do, we're doing playthroughs of board games, Ryan and Brian here, where Ryan will have his wife Ashley join him from time to time in a playthrough. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for that as well. We've got some really good games on there. I make an appearance a few times, so if you guys like looking at this beautiful face, make sure you go check those out. But yeah, man. Thank you, Angie. It says great stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, Invasion. I appreciate you coming out, brother. All right, guys, real quick before we get out of here, Brian, tell people where they can find you on the socials.
Omni Lucid Media on Instagram.com and on Facebook. Just check us out.
Absolutely. Ryan, let everybody know where these beautiful people can find you, my friend.
Just Ryan Neaters on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
Go check it out.
And Omni Lucid everywhere.
That's right, Omni Lucid, guys. My name's Orge. You guys can find me here hanging out with these guys. You can also find me on my channel, Orge Board, youtube.com/Orge Board, doing pop culture news and commentary throughout the week, video game streams on the weekend. My channel's a place for everybody to come hang out. So come check me out there. You guys find me right there. You guys see it at all the socials. Find me there. And I just want to thank you guys so much. Thank you for the beautiful gift, man. Thank you so much, guys. Life's good, man. You guys are amazing. And with that said, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you for joining us today. Any words of wisdom before I take us out here on the scene?
Don't die stupid.
All right. So on that note, we'll take you out on that note. All right. We love you guys. We'll catch you later. Peace.
Yeah.
Don't die stupidly. I'm going to die.